he believed, I think, that you can do anything if you have the desire to do it. You just have to find out what it is, know what it takes to get there, and then train to be it. And that's what has carried me through, and that's what I've done all of my life. I had a pamphlet that I was going to bring out. I'll show you, because it had some principles in it. And honesty, thrift, character, all of those kinds of things were things that he so strongly believed in. In fact, when students, he says in From Slavery, when students got ready to graduate from Tuskegee, that if they did not have the character that would represent the school and themselves, they were not permitted to graduate. You could have all the learning necessary, but it would take more than that to be a representative of Tuskegee. And so he really died raising money to educate the ex-slaves, because when he came to Tuskegee in 1881, the slaves had only been freed for 16 years and had never had a school in Macon County, because it was illegal to teach slaves to read. And he had to raise the money when he got there. And the only reason he got there was because there was a man in Macon County who wanted to get elected to the legislature, a white man, and he asked Lewis Adams, who was a merchant at Tinsmith in Tuskegee, what can I do to get the Negro vote? And he said, we need a school. He says, all right, if I get elected, I'll get you the appropriation. Well, he got elected, and he got an appropriation for $2,000 for teachers' salaries only. And so they wrote to Hampton and asked him to send a teacher, and they sent Booker T. Washington. And Booker T. Washington came to Tuskegee with nothing. There was no land, no books, no equipment, nothing but the $2,000 for teachers' salaries only. And he started in a school that leaked, a church. That was where it started. And the students would have to hold an umbrella over his head to keep the rain off of him when it rained. So he said, we will make what we need, grow what we need, and he did fundraising all over the country with the help of Olivia Davidson. So when Tuskegee started as an industrial school, it started as an industrial school because they started where they needed to start and built up from there. Now Tuskegee, which has had only 5 presidents in 125 years, has moved along with the times, following Booker Washington's footsteps, advancing as the need for things and training of people in the world advanced.
How do you think your grandfather was misunderstood? There's been tons of controversy.
Many people called him an Uncle Tom because they thought that he was catering to the white man and not fighting for civil rights. But Booker Washington knew that the place from which he could get the funds to educate the black people, the money was going to come not from the blacks. They didn't have it. And in 1881, when he came to Tuskegee, according to Monroe Work, who did the statistics of lynching in the South, there were 52 recorded lynchings. In 1895, when he spoke at the Cotton States Exposition, they had increased to 2012 in that short period of 14 years. So when he had to speak and he said it's better to be a friend of the man next door, what he was saying was that if we're going to get the things that we need to educate my people, we cannot be antagonistic. We have to be the friend to the person that we can approach to help us to do the things that we need, to get the things that we need. And Uncle Tom, he was not. And civil rights help, he did greatly, even though undercover. Because if somebody, it's written that if somebody was looking for somebody supposedly to attack them or lynch them, that person may have come in the front door of the home, Booker Washington's home, the Oaks. He would hold them there until they were no longer being sought at that door, and then get them off to safety. But what he did, he had to do the way he did it, because his purpose was to see that the people that he had been denied an education got an education.